Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Big Bear Review. I'm James.
I'm Mario.
And I'm Romeo.
Yes. We're here today to review Under the Red Hood, a DC animated film. Mario suggested it.
Yeah.
So, Mario, you tell us why this movie and what it's about. For those people who don't know what it is, please do explain.
Give a summary of the movie.
I want a synopsis.
You want to say what?
I want a synopsis.
Oh my god.
Synopsis.
God help me.
Poor Junior.
He is okay. He is sleeping right now.
He's on your boobies, taking a nap, as we all do from time to time. Anyways, tell us about the Red Hood, Mario.
I chose Under the Red Hood because it has one of the tropes that you just don't see very often in shows, where you get to see a hero who lives long enough to become what we would consider a villain. Like, in terms of my movie selections, I tend to like things that are borderline questioning morality, and that's why I kind of found this movie to be interesting. So, long story short, is it Dick Grayson? No, what's his name again?
Jason Todd.
Jason Todd gets murdered. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Spoiler alert for a lot of this. I'm just going to glaze over it. Jason Todd gets murdered by the Joker, and then he is brought back via
The Lazarus.
I was about to call it the Cane Pit, thinking about Sabrina the fucking Teenage Witch.
Spoilers for that one, too.
They say it in, like, the first episode.
There's magic dirt in that show.
They say it in the first episode,
though. Magic water.
Oh my god. So he gets brought back in the Lazarus pit and goes... It is hinted that he goes insane, but not really. It's like, he also hints that this could have just been his true nature all along. So he comes back, and when he comes back, he starts taking over all of the crime in Gotham. So he is kind of dealing with the drug lords, and he's like saying, hey, as long as you don't sell to kids or sell in areas where kids are, you're good. If you do it to anyone else is fair game. And the point of him doing this is so that way he could get one of the main antagonists to hire the Joker to then organize a shindig for him, the Joker, and Batman to come together. And it's just kind of like the movie is just detailing the events of what happens in between that. Like, and that's basically the synopsis of the movie.
Yes. I liked it.
So,
I liked the movie.
I heard somebody didn't like the movie.
Yes, there are two people that did not like the movie.
We're going to start with Romeo.
You guys always start with me, first of all.
Well, you are the actual film critic here.
Okay, whoever told you rumors that I did not like the movie, that's false.
Oh.
I thought it was okay.
Well,
It just really...
Given that it's one of their very first ones, I can understand why you would think it's okay. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, it's not a movie for everybody.
Yes.
You sort of need to know who Jason Todd is, and a lot of people glaze over Jason Todd. You go from Dick Grayson to Tim Rick.
Let's go back to Romeo's opinion, or do you not want to go first?
I kind of want to know your guys' opinion, because since you guys are more like in the trope of, of DC fans, I kind of want to see kind of like your perspective as to why you like it.
Okay, fine. I'll go first.
and then I'll comment.
And then he will make.
And then I'll comment on, or I'll give you my opinion as to why I feel the way I feel. Okay.
I will go first.
Mm-hmm.
I actually liked the movie. I think it's a good movie. I don't think it's like the greatest movie of all time.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said earlier in the video, or like I said earlier, I like the fact that it plays on that concept of like watching a hero go bad, or what we would consider bad. Like, we don't necessarily see our heroes do that. Mm-hmm. We see them maybe even teeter the line of anti-hero, but we never see them fully just go outright and be like, I'm gonna kill because this is the right thing to do. Like, we always see our heroes in, like, the DC universe, or I believe what is the canon DC universe, as these upstanding people who don't murder anyone, who are just like, I'm gonna do what's right. Even if it breaks bones or things like that, it's just never like, they never take that step to fully address a problem. It's always, I'll fight you next time because you're my arch nemesis. Like, but to see someone actually do the human thing, actually try to stop something for valid reasons, that's what I was kind of like, okay, this is really cool. And then the scenes where it's him, the Joker, and Batman, I thought those were absolutely well done. Like, I love the emotion that Jason put into it. I love the thought that he put into it, and I can kind of relate to him in that aspect. Like, if someone killed somebody that I felt super strong about, there would be nothing stopping me from finding them and inflicting the most excruciating torture on them. Because that's the person that I cared about. And you can hear that in his voice where he's like, you allowed this to continue. You allowed him to continue to commit these atrocities, and you didn't stop him. All it would have taken was for you just to kill him. You've had every justification to kill him, and you doing this moral high ground bullshit is only causing more damage than good.
Yes. That scene. Like the graveyards he's filled, the friends he's crippled, which refers to Batgirl. Like, what the Joker's done, like, and he said, I thought I'd be the last person.
Well, yeah.
Like, he just thought that Batman would never have allowed, after that moment, for the Joker to ever get away with it again. But he did. And that's what Jason goes after him for. Like, you need to make a choice, me or him.
So, I mean, like, Jason was looking at it from, the way Jason was basically saying Batman should be looking at the Joker is from a utilitarian standpoint. Like, Batman is basically like, okay, everybody's equal in my eyes. I don't care how bad you've been or how good you've been. If you're a bad person right now, I'm just going to stop the problem right now. And that has caused a whole host of issues. Even if we look at the multiverse type of thing, or just the other versions of, like, the Joker, Jesus Christ, he's done a lot. Jesus Christ, he should have been killed a long time ago. Like, even in the comics, he does things just for the pure and utter attention. And it's just like, you've killed so many people. At what point do you value this one person's life over the millions he's killed? And it's just like, sometimes taking that utilitarian road is the right way to go. And I know the trolley problem, it's like a trolley problem situation. Do you kill one to save four, or do you kill the four to save the one? In this moment, and we're talking about the Joker, I will kill the one every single fucking time.
Yeah.
But, that's just me.
I liked the movie. I thought seeing the Red Hood come to life was very interesting. I thought really putting Jason Todd out there and introducing him as the Red Hood was a good idea, because he is part of the Bat family in the comics. He is part of the Bat family with Batwoman and Batgirl and Batwing, the metal Batman.
Yeah.
So introducing him like that,
Isn't
and
it Nightwing?
There's also Nightwing.
Oh, okay.
Nightwing's Dick Grayson.
Oh, okay.
And introducing him and like putting him in the, like, at least introducing him and showing like how he turned into what he turned into, because he was violent before, because even Batman said, like, yeah, he was violent, but he had so much potential, and then you have to remember, like, the reason Jason even died was because people voted on it. The comic people, they took a poll. Do you want Jason to live, or do you want Jason to die? And to that point, like, Batman never really lost anyone super, super, super close to him other than his family, and that was the kid. So they kill off Jason, which gave Batman a more depth. So they gave him, like, a bigger arc.
Yeah.
So I think seeing how they depicted Jason, how you see Batman's reactions to things, because even he said, He's like, it would be too damn easy to kill him. And he struggled with that for a long time. Like, you have no idea how many times I want to inflict on the most excruciating things to him. Audrey's home. There's a kitty cat. Hi, Audrey. Junior says hi. And he said, but it'd be too damn easy because I think Batman struggles with that fine line because if he did cross that line, there's no coming back from it. Like, that's the one line he doesn't cross because if he did cross it, he would probably have killed nearly everyone in his villain gallery. I mean, seriously, there'd be none. He would be the Batman movies every day. Like, that Penguin would be dead. Mr. Freeze would have been dead. He probably would have killed Mrs. Freeze just for good measure, just to kill the bloodline. Just make sure there's no reason for anyone to come back.
Yes.
So but seeing him come to life and seeing how Jason Todd is, and like, yeah, he made a good point. Like, he was trying to control the drugs. He was trying to control the crime. And crime was down, because they even mentioned that. Like, this guy's taking over huge things, but crime is way the fuck down. And he said, yeah, don't sell to kids. That's my rule. Okay, I'm taking 40% of whatever your cut is, and don't deal to kids. And he said, if you do, I'll kill you. And then he threw the heads of their generals on the table. and seeing that he even told Batman, like, I'm doing something you could never do. Because Batman never attempted to do that. Like, he never really went after, like, Black Mask like that, or any of, like, the drug gangs.
To his defense, he did actually have a lot more to deal with.
I know.
Like,
he had super villains that he had to deal with. But, I mean, they even said crime was down. Like, so... But I think Jason just really wanted to show Batman, yeah, I'm doing it my way, and it's effective. Your way has led to the deaths of a lot of people.
Yes.
And you should have, like, thought outside the box. Like, you have to kill everyone, but the ones that are filling graveyards, you need to, like, take a stance on that.
His villain gallery.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. Like, I mean, Mr. Freeze is not necessarily a bad guy.
He is not.
No, he just wants to save his wife.
Yeah.
Like, if he saved his wife, which he does in one of the story arcs, but she ends up, like, dying anyway. I mean, it's sad, and he ends up sacrificing his life to save her. So, like, he dies, but she lives. So, and the Penguin, someone else, like, he just wants to control things.
He wants to control Gotham.
Yeah, but, like, if he had his restaurant, and he was, like, just a businessman for a long time. But then, like, you know, he gets greedy, and he goes off and does whatever he's doing. So, not necessarily a bad guy, but, like, the Joker is a psychotic, murdering sociopath that has, like, done way more compared to the villain gallery. Like, I think the Joker's killed several of the villains just for good measure, just because he could. Like, he's taken people out. So, for the fact that Batman let him live after he killed Jason and how he killed Jason.
True.
Yeah.
Like, Jason's like, no, that had to be the last straw. You've allowed this man to live? How dare you? How dare you? Like, because, what did he say? He's like, I thought I'd be the last person. Because he said, if he'd taken you from me, taken you from this world, there's nothing I would have done to hunt down this, like, pile of death garbage or something. Like, and it was just so, you just feel that hate he has for this man.
Yeah.
And the Joker's making jokes. He's like, shh, you be quiet. I'm going to put one in your lap. And he points the gun. And I mean, that you're like, and the Joker's like, oh, okay, I'm going to be really quiet now. Because, like, he knows he's fucked. Like, Joker knows that this kid will beat him to death. Mm-hmm. And even before Batman gets there, he beats him with that crowbar the same way. and you know it feels good. You know on some level that you wanted to see the Joker get wailed on for what he's done to people. Like, I mean, the Batgirl thing. He crippled her for a really long time. And no one really ever got vengeance for that. Like they never really got him for that. He just kind of left, and Batman, kept fighting him over and over. So like for Jason to actually get his like actual revenge on him was just so satisfying.
Anyway.
But yeah, I loved it. So Romeo, tell me about what you thought.
I mean, I don't get me wrong. I did really was engaged with the story. I felt that it had a lot to say, especially kind of got a little bit more in depth with the relationship with I guess it was Jason Todd.
Yeah.
Yeah, and basically Jason Todd is not trying to get inside Batman's mind. It was more he's trying to get inside Bruce Wayne's mind.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to attack him. Because I really like the emphasis of, like, you know, when he had like that battle, he takes off his mask because he's really trying to fight Bruce Wayne. Now he's not after the Bat, you know, because that's where he's kind of like just attacking him because he's just so like
you were a father to me.
Yeah, he was like a father figure to him, and then this awful thing happened to him where it resulted in his death, which you know became like a monster Frankenstein situation where he just comes back from the dead and he's trying to get, you know, like vengeance from the man who kind of murdered him, but also trying to understand as to why Bruce didn't like kill him off.
Like,
because he thought that would be, you know, like the point where he just wouldn't take his like where Joker just basically took things too far.
Yeah.
And that he would like do something about it, but he didn't. He just basically puts him in jail and doesn't really cross that line. And that's where he just kind of comes in. It's like, you know what, I'm gonna be the thing that you can never do, you know, that you were too weak to do.
Yep.
You know, and just basically take justice to my own hands, but also kind of do like a quid pro quo thing where, you know, like you do something for me, I do something for you, and, you know, kind of control crime. I really like put them in fear. So he's just trying to like do it his own way. So I just really like that dynamic. I just didn't think the movie, like everything else, like visually and everything in the background kind of had the same oomph that, you know, it's like basically watching a well-written story. But the execution of it just didn't go there for me. I really didn't think all that much, except for the fighting sequences. I didn't think that the animation was all that engaging to me. I kind of feel like I was watching like a Saturday morning cartoon, and I kind of felt like I wanted a little more than that. Like visually, like they could have just visually just made it a little bit more interesting, or visually make it look interesting. But you know, but this is minus the fight scene, because the fight scenes were done amazing. It's like I really felt, yeah.
It is a really old movie, and they probably didn't have it.
Well, yeah, but I also saw the what was it, the Phantasm Batman, and that was
just straight up the animated series.
Yeah, that was straight up the animated series, but it had at least interesting visuals for me to kind of look at, despite that it looked that way. But it does.
I think the art style is different. From like the Batman versus Robin. Movie versus
but there was at least a style to it. Like there's a visual style to it that it kept me like visually. It just kind of hooked me because I was just so engaged to it. But this one I didn't like. This, you know, apart from the fighting sequences, which were great, I just thought that everything else it was just kind of bland. I just wanted it to be, you know, like they didn't really do anything interesting with it, and I kind of wish they did. And I kind of feel like there were some parts in the movie where it was kind of like served no point really, and to kind of specify, I didn't really like I think the parts where Nightwing was involved, because I felt like he was kind of unnecessary in the story. Like, he was just there just more as a one-liner person and to help him fight the robot thing. I mean, he was there when he was, like, trying to go after Red Hood, but then he, like, hurts his ankle trying to catch him. Something that Batman could have just done himself, but he tags along, and then he just hurts his ankle, and then goes by, and never hear from him again. I just feel like he kind of didn't really serve much of a point. I just thought there'd be more to Nightwing's involvement, but he really didn't really serve a purpose to it, because in the end it didn't really matter whether he's in it or not.
I think what they were trying to go for was to show like Nightwing's relationship with Bruce versus Jason Todd's relationship with Bruce. I think. Now,
I also think it was like to show the first Robin and the second Robin,
like the different
where it went right and where it went wrong.
Yeah, like kind of like the differences of of the two Robins, but
I completely agree with you. That could have been tossed out.
But I just feel like there'd be a little bit more depth to that, or they just kind of add a little to it. But they really just didn't really do anything for it.
Nightwing.
It was like and then he just disappears. And I didn't really like that sequence where they were battling that like superhuman robot that they were thinking.
So?
Yeah, I didn't really enjoy that.
That's a funny robot.
That was a funny robot.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a funny scene, but it was kind of like, eh.
It was because what kept me engaged was the elements that involved, Joker and the Red Hood. Like those were the things that kept me engaged. And
speaking of a good Joker scene, sorry to interrupt.
Oh, so it's okay, fine.
The jail cell. The padded cell.
No, not that one.
I actually didn't really like the guy who voiced him. It was kind of distracting a little. Like I kind of feel like his voice didn't match his laugh. It's like I knew someone else was doing the laugh, and it didn't really match the voice.
Really?
Yeah, like there were
so nitpicky.
No, I mean it's a nitpicky. It's a nitpicky thing. Yeah, so if it doesn't bother you.
No, because honestly, you were so used to Mark Hamill doing it. You're so used to that.
True, but there's other voice actors that kind of did it their own. Like despite that. I did see the Dark Knight Returns, and I just like how that person's depiction of Joker kind of did it that way, and he was just like he kind of made it his own. This guy is like he was trying to be Mark Hamill, but can't or couldn't really do it, and so they just have some person do his laugh.
He has some tall shoes.
I don't. Yeah. So I just kind of feel like if he could have just done his own thing. It would have been different.
But that has flopped before, where people try to do their own version of the Joker, and then everybody's like, "Ew."
Are we talking about? Are we talking about? What's his name from Suicide Squad?
Jared Leto.
Yeah. Well. To be fair, Jared Leto was still trying to do. What's his name? Dark Knight.
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger's Joker, he just wanted to make him crazier. It's just that his outfit just looked different. But he was still trying to do it. But that didn't work out. Like, he's still gonna do Heath Ledger. He's just more crazier, and that just didn't serve a point.
But we've had at least 7 or 8 different versions of the Joker. Yeah, not all of them have been great. Like I can't remember the guy's name. I can't remember anybody's name really. I remember the Heath Ledger Joker, because I love that one. And
he was really good.
I remember the Joker from The Killing Joke.
I mean, the Joker from The Killing...
That was Mark Hamill.
That was still Mark Hamill.
So those are the only 2 Jokers I truly remember. Because I just think of them as iconic. They're psychotic, but they're at least intelligent.
What about Joaquin Phoenix?
I liked his Joker. But I feel like that's the beginning of Joker. So you don't really get to see the full on psychoticness that he turns into.
Yeah.
I mean, you get to see the very beginning, and then then you just kind of know what happens after that. Everything that happens after that is you already know what happens. Yeah. No, I liked his Joker. I thought his performance in the Joker was so well done, and yeah, like
I mean, yeah.
when you get pushed that far, I mean, it only like what in the Killing Joke. What did he say? He's like one bad day.
Yep.
Just one bad day, like, and you're just everyone's just one bad day away from becoming this.
I mean,
monster.
I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of of Joker, but I thought without Joaquin Phoenix, that movie would have been nothing.
Yeah,
and it at least looked visually interesting because it kind of reminded me like if I was in a '70s movie.
Yeah,
you know, like very reminiscent of like the movies that movie was referencing, but it at least had something. But I just feel like this one, I mean, I'm not giving it like crap about the kind of like the animation style of it. I mean, like it's an animated film, but even animated films at least try to do something visually interesting, and I didn't really get that from this movie. And
well, they probably didn't have a large budget on the same exact
I mean,
time.
true, but you could, but I feel like neither did Phantasm, and that one had like some visuals, you know, visually interesting like
that
moments.
one just looked like a really long Batman animated series show to me.
Yeah,
like, it wasn't like.
But I mean,
and yeah, I would say the Red Hood is on the animation of like a cartoon thing, like
but even
from this perspective,
I get that. But and I know that the animation is definitely different from like when you see oh my gosh, King and Wayne, all those Batman series.
Yeah.
So the New 52 series animation versus the Red Hood series or the Red Hood movie, it's definitely different.
Yeah.
Like it's not as sleek. It's not as like visually appealing, but it's still like I think being able to tell a story regardless, like the story they told was amazing.
No, I know that's granted, and I'm not, you know, I'm not arguing that. It's just, I just think you could have just done something visually interesting.
Totally get that, and I'm probably like, what I think they did from like a business perspective was they farmed it out to another studio and said this is a one and done project. Here's your money, just do what you gotta do.
True.
And I mean, I've seen this happen with a ton of anime where they just farm it out to a studio. They'll make like whatever quote unquote critical scenes look amazing, but everything else will just be like bleh.
I mean, true, but those fight sequences look very expensive.
That's what I'm like. Yes, they did look very expensive. That's probably where their budget went, and then everything else was kind of like black. Like I'm 100% agreeing with you, but I'm like, it's a very different thing when you tell someone, "Hey, this is a one and done project," versus, "Oh, there might be another movie if you do well."
Yeah.
True.
I also there's some other ones that was kind of like kind of took me out of the movie a little bit, and I did like how gritty it was going because it seemed like it was trying to go for a more like violent version of a Batman story. I just feel like it didn't really get there for me because there were like moments where it's supposed to be brutal and stuff like that and it's violent, but all the violence scenes just kind of happen off screen, like they're still trying to censor it. And it's like, well, I thought this was like a very mature version of it, but yet they're still like censoring it, and it's like that kind of like took me out of it. Like, it might as well just be a PG-13 rated movie.
It was a PG-13 rated movie, I think.
I know, but I think they were trying to aim for more like an R-rated, because that's what I feel like it was kind of going for. Because there was just murder. There were they were murder. There was like
DC was probably owned by somebody else then.
No, Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers
was probably trying to market to kids.
Well, yeah, of course.
I mean,
so I was like, if Marvel was owned by Disney, there's no way on God's green earth.
I mean, it didn't seem like it was trying to aim for kids. It was trying to aim for like maybe older teenagers.
I think it was trying to appeal to the teenage range, also to like the adults that like know the story, know what's going on.
But primarily to the teenagers.
I don't think it was marketed.
I mean, it doesn't need to be like super violent, but I just feel like all the on-screen deaths that were happening, you know, like that scene where, that scene where where basically where Joker just kind of murders that room full of people in the the room, and it was on screen. Yet when he shoots those people, not a single ounce of blood is shown.
Well,
and he like shot them in the head, and he like literally.
Thank you, Big Key.
And he like literally cut somebody's throat with a piece of glass, and it was like, okay, you're gonna show me some on-screen deaths, but not a single blood is like shown. It's like that kind of took me out of it a little, but I don't know.
Again, it wasn't really meant for people like us. It was meant for teenagers to start with.
As much as I want to see people,
but it still had like a mature story that adults can kind of resonate.
Yes, but how many PG-13 movies do you see that actually have blood in them?
I mean, The Ring was kind of more gorier. Freaking.
It's a horror movie on top of that.
Okay.
And it's not.
I know, but it's still PG-13. And then okay, if you really want to get to the depths of it, freaking all the Indiana Jones movies were more violent than that.
Where's the blood, though?
There's a lot of blood.
I don't remember.
I don't remember any blood.
And the first Indiana Jones, someone gets shot in the head and blood squirts out, and it's still PG. It's PG rated.
I don't remember that happening.
Oh, I do not.
You should probably watch them again because I just recently because I've only seen the first one, and I've like literally seen all three of them, and they were all like for like the PG or PG-13 range, like they were kind of like a little pushing towards the R-rated version, but they were still like trying to cater to like young kids in a way, which is kind of like odd. Like even Nazis like heads were kind of melting in before your eyes, and it was like
that's the.
I think that was the first one.
That was the first one.
That was the first one.
It's with that chest.
But well, I'm just naming that as an example. Like they still kind of push it forward, but obviously, it's catering toward the teens. I don't think you cater towards the kids because it's way too mature for freaking kids to understand.
But when I say kids, I mean anyone under 18. Anyone who has to take a parent to go see a movie that is rated R is considered a kid to me.
I mean, like, okay, so looking at this movie and then coming from the realms of, let's say, like, The Dark Knight Returns, and even that was way more violent than this one. And
that's so toys.
Huh?
That's all toys.
That's all toys, but it was still kind of like out there, and I kind of feel like that's what it was trying to go to, but it didn't really get there because all the censor stuff was just keeping it from ever going there.
Yeah, but the other thing is like the Red Hood does something.
Also, like like when Jason Todd dies because he gets blown up, and he like finds him in the debris. Like he finds him in the debris, and he like holds his corpse. Like his body is just well preserved. It's not burned.
I will admit there are some silly stuff.
No, like silly stuff like that. And then when they bring him back to life, they like mummified him like if he was a burned corpse. But it's like, but I've just seen this previous scene, and he wasn't burned. He's just like a well preserved body.
They could have done that better.
They could have.
But you have to think of it from a studio's perspective. Like
that's why I hate studios.
Because
they get in the way.
Well, I mean, come on. Warner Brothers itself like screws themselves every time they try to do a DC movie.
I think
there's so many times where they could have gone somewhere and made it more interesting, but they're like. They err on the side of caution because whoever runs their shit is stupid, and that's their fault.
No, it's not that they're stupid. They just have different motivations. Like,
they want to appeal to everyone, but at the same time, like, if you cut back on stuff like, clearly Jason Todd's body was mangled. You should have depicted it as such. Because that makes it, that, even the comic strip is, like, more detailed.
yes, but here is the huge ass but. Movies like that are meant to make money. They are meant to sell something. It's not about, like, the actual person or depicting what is actually in the comic. It is literally meant just to push something else.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't think this made that much money as far as
it
toy sales.
didn't, but Injustice 2 came out, so
Oh yeah, he was in Justice too.
Yeah,
that's what I'm like.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
and he was
literally
in
just meant.
and he was in the Arkham game.
It is just meant to push
the
another product.
third one, I think?
Like, the reason we have anime is to push manga sales.
Arkham Knight. It was an Arkham Knight.
It's the same thing for movies. The reason we get movies is to push toy sales.
Yeah.
Or t-shirt sales or whatever they're trying to sell.
Mm-hmm.
It's never really meant to be a one-to-one comparison to the comics. I do totally agree with you guys. There should be, like, a little bit more true to form. Because that would actually make the movie a lot better.
Yeah.
But these things have definitely been thought about. But at the same time, they're like, if we do this, then it's kind of like crap. We can't really push this product.
I'm not asking them to sell a burnt corpse. I mean, come on.
But who wants to see a corpse? Like,
I know, but
we
then,
do,
but
yes.
at the same
Animated
time,
series,
no,
yeah.
but at the same time, then why show it? Why show the body? If you're gonna,
Because it's supposed to elicit an emotional connection.
well, you could still show an emotional connection. Like you could see like he's holding him, but it could be off screen. But you know what he's holding or who he's holding, and he's just like beaten down. Plus, he wasn't really showing much emotion. It was just more like he kind of just felt like a failure. He was just trying to hold back on it. It was
But it's
just
also
him.
Batman who's supposed to be
Well, that's what I'm saying. He doesn't really show emotion. He's just holding back. He didn't show emotion until he had to tell him why he didn't kill Joker. That was when I saw the raw emotion off of him, and that scene was great, where he was just like, you know, I always wanted to kill Joker so many times, but if I ever get there, I will never come back.
Yeah.
You know, like that was like that kind of explained why he kind of stuck to his code. Like, it's not just the code that he just lives by; it's the code that he kind of just put on himself so that he won't turn. You know, I would say he won't basically lose his mind.
Well, I mean, yes, that is for sure. Because we've seen what happens when Batman does lose that.
Mm-hmm.
And that Batman is the man who laughs. That's the Bat who laughs.
Mm-hmm.
That is exactly who he is. He just does not give any. He does not care anymore,
Mm-hmm.
and he wants to kill everyone. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, seeing Batman cross that line, there is no coming back.
Yeah.
Because once he crosses it, it's just like Superman
Mm-hmm.
when he killed the Joker in Injustice. Like,
Yeah.
once he did that,
Mm-hmm.
it was over.
Yeah.
Like, that was... Superman is no longer Superman.
This is why I'm like, it's always nice to see our heroes cross that line.
Yeah,
We don't get to see it.
Definitely Injustice showed all of them, nearly all of them become villains. Anyone who was on Superman's side was a villain, including Wonder Woman, too. Wonder Woman ended up being a villain,
They
too.
were villains sort of out of fear, but that's a whole other talk show.
Yeah.
But,
Back to the
I think that what they depicted for Jason Todd was good, and also, like, it kind of got people to understand who he was because the Arkham Knight game came out not too long after that,
yes.
and he is in the Arkham Knight,
Mm-hmm.
and that's like, because I mean, if you just saw him, who the hell is that? A lot of people don't know who Jason Todd is, and that's the other thing. Like, you see Dick Grayson, which is the first Robin,
Yeah.
which becomes Nightwing, and Tim Drake, which is the other Robin in the animated series, the smaller one. You never see Jason Todd, even in the animated series. That goes from Dick Grayson, Tim Drake. That's it. You don't see Jason Todd.
Is Tim Drake the same for Teen Titans?
I want to say it's him, but also like in the movies, it's Damian.
Mm-hmm.
And then they added Damian to it, and Damian is like the fourth Robin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like when Tim like gets corrupted by the Joker, that's who that is.
Yeah.
And then it's Damian.
Oh, and that's another example of another animated series or an animated film based on Batman that kind of did interesting visuals, and that was the Batman Beyond when Joker comes back. That had a lot of very interesting visuals.
That also had a TV show behind it.
No,
It's
true.
true, yeah.
No, true, but that one had like really haunting like visuals, especially with the flashback sequence.
Oh my god!
It was
yes.
really great.
So...
Like the visuals really haunted me.
He's like, let me show you how I broke his mind.
Yeah.
Like, oh
I just kind of feel like that was missing visually for this one, and it would have been better. It had a great story. Just
oh yeah.
You know.
I'm not disagreeing with you that the visuals could have been better.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that this was a standalone movie meant to push products.
This is true.
Yeah.
That's exactly why the visuals probably aren't up to snuff.
Mm-hmm.
But if it has a TV show behind it that is supposed to be pushing, or a game, or something else besides a game,
That or a filmmaker that really cares about the product.
who the fuck really cares about a Batman product?
A lot of people care about Batman products. He's like possibly
And as someone who loves Batman, like Batman.
I meant from the film side of things.
Oh no, both sides. I love Batman. Like that.
No.
I think.
from the film side of things. That's why the Dark Knight trilogy exists.
Hang on. Hear me out.
Mm.
The Dark Knight trilogy exists because the first one was good and it brought in a lot of sales.
Mm-hmm.
Batman as a vehicle to make money, yes, wonderful, great.
Mm-hmm.
The film directors, on the other hand, probably don't care as much as the business does. Like,
I think
some of them do care and some of them
No.
try. I'm just saying it is not.
Well, specifically, this is just going off topic, but like specifically the Dark Knight trilogy, I think director Chris Nolan and his brother, and even his brother was the one who wrote the scripts for all three of them.
Yes.
And so I'm pretty sure if he didn't care, it wouldn't be as great.
Yes,
as it was.
that is one example out of a myriad of movies that we have.
I think some of the Batman movies that they're okay. They're like whatever. Are the ones with Mr. Freeze. Didn't like that one. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger was such a clusterfuck.
You're completely and utterly off topic.
Well, the point is, if they had gotten a competent director who cared about the material to kind of give it that extra layer to make it not look so bland, because visually it just looked like a factory made, like you said, like a business studio thing that they just put out. Like, no, we just want to tell a story, but also to sell products, and that to me is what kind of hold the movie back a little.
Yes, but you're looking at it from a film critic perspective, whereas I'm looking at it from a business perspective. I am agreeing with you 100%. I am not disagreeing. I'm just saying there are other considerations to when movies are made.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying that in my opinion, this would have heightened the movie for me.
Like I said,
Yeah.
I completely agree. I really do.
Uh-huh.
I feel like it didn't have to be a standalone movie. There could have been more movies.
Yeah, because he doesn't die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't have to be.
He does.
And the way that it was handled in that regard probably shouldn't have been the way that it was handled. But at the same time, I can't control what other people do.
Yeah.
Now, I was going to ask you, what was your favorite scene in the movie?
I would say the wouldn't say the scene. It was just mostly when Bruce finally confronts Jason, and then which led to the apartment complex where he had Joker. That whole area was that whole sequence of events that was happening was pretty great, because that was kind of like the highlight of the movie, at least for me. that's what kind of led to that's what kind of made the film interesting. But if I have to be very specific, I think the part I would say the part where Batman had to like tell him the reason why he has his code and why he didn't kill him.
Oh yeah,
that was a very like emotionally like resonant scene right there.
oh yes.
Bo, what's your favorite?
I actually have two.
Okay.
My first favorite scene is the one where it's like the emotional, or it's like when Batman is talking to Jason, and Jason's like, "Shut the fuck up, or I'll kill you right now."
Yeah.
Where you stand.
He's like,
or
"Just
stand.
be quiet. I'm gonna put one in your lap."
That I would have to say is
It's like party pooper.
No
right.
cake for you. Yes. Yes.
That would be like if I had to pick one scene that I love, it would be that. The second scene that I would choose was when the Joker was in the room with Black Mask and all of his guards, and he was like, "I would like to have some water," and then he looks at the water and slashes it. It just completely murders everyone in the room.
Oh,
And he's like, "I did it because I wanted to."
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm gonna need some guys, but not these, because they're all
They're
kind of dead." I'm like,
Not these guys. They're kind of dead.
that is the psychosis that I've come to love about the Joker.
Yeah.
And just being able to see him play it out is hilarious to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, they're all gonna die. They're all gonna die. They're all gonna die. They're all gonna die. Like, you just knew.
When Joker's around, someone's gonna die.
So, that would be my second favorite scene. But if I had to choose only one, it would most definitely be when they're all together. And also the other scene that I loved the most was when he was like, "Let's get one with me and you, and me and the kid, and me and the crowbar." Yeah, the crowbar. Fucking Joker. Oh, God. But yeah. James?
Probably the last one. When they're all together. Oh, that entire scene, like, from beginning to end, is, like, really good. Because when you see him beating the Joker, like, you just feel that hate. Like, that is just...
Yeah.
I want to make you hurt
Yeah.
so bad. Because he took his life, but he also took him away from Bruce. Which is the other thing that he mentioned several times. Like, he took you away from me. Like, and like, you could just tell that Jason really cared and loved Bruce because he got him off the streets. He basically saved his life. Like, he was, he was homeless. Yeah. And you feel that when he's beating the Joker with the crowbar. He's like, "Dude, what hurts more? Backhand? Forehand?" I'm like, what the? Okay. And then, when Jason's explaining, like, with the graveyards he's filled and stuff like that, how I thought I would be the last person he would hurt. Like, how did you not take him out? And then Batman's explanation for the why. Because I think we all see that. Like, there's so many times that Batman is pushed to that limit, and you just think, oh, this is gonna be it, and he's gonna snap, and he's gonna kill someone.
Yeah.
We never get to see that Batman. We do get to see that Batman, but it's only in comics, and only in alternative universes. I mean, where like he kills Darkseid with a bullet. The one and only time Batman's ever used a gun, technically. Yeah. He killed Darkseid. Like that. Like those moments are so far and few between, but with seeing those moments, the emotion that has to go into it, like, is just insane. So for him to explain the why he can't do it is so well done in that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was reminded of another criticism that I had with it.
Oh, good. I love it.
Let's end on a criticism.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Yes.
My last criticism. This will be the last one.
Okay.
Okay.
What is it?
With how competently, I would say over-competently, that Jason Todd can handle himself, or Red Hood, because he is such a skilled fighter. The more that I see how good he was, especially the scenes where Batman was trying to chase him, and he kept like dodging every move, every like everything that he kind of just that he remembered in this training. He like, oh yeah, I know that, like he did this, he did that, and he had like equipment that he can fight against, Batman. I was like, he's such a skilled fighter, and he's just so well equipped. Why does he need what's his name, the Black Mask? Why does he need Black Mask in order to get to Joker? Because it just made it seem like he needed him to kind of get access to find Joker, when it's like, and when I saw the scene where, okay, I need you to get me a room to go see Joker, all he basically had was like just people that were just working in Arkham that just let him in, and that was it. And it was like, with how skilled of a fighter is, it would be so easy for him to just get Joker himself. He doesn't really need Black Mask.
For him to get to the Joker, he would have had to kill innocent people.
I mean, true, but he could just knock them out.
That's his thing. Like, I think if they shot at him, you have to kill him, and he wanted to do that.
Mm.
So
It's also way easier just to get someone else to do the dirty work for you.
And honestly, he did want to control the city.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his end game was to kill the Joker, but he did want to control the city.
Mm.
If he could kill the Joker and still control the drug trade or what's going on, that's a win-win for him.
Mm.
Like getting the
But
Joker.
it just made it seem like his whole scheme was to kind of get him riled up to get Joker out for him, because it just made it seem like
because I think even if he didn't get Joker to do that, he was killing Black Mask, because Black Mask is a huge threat. I mean, you saw him; he's a psychotic, sociopath. I mean, look at him; he punches anyone that looks at him wrong.
Yeah.
So, yes.
But yeah, that's it. That's
you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
that was
basically
if there's more, we'll add it to this video. We'll just make a tweet and you can send it out like that.
Put it in.
Romeo thought of something else wrong with this movie.
Extra scenes, special features there.
Yeah. So Mario, what do you give the movie?
Rating?
I'm not giving the first rating.
Okay, Romeo, you do it.
I give it a 6. It was decent. But like I said, would have done a little bit more interesting visuals, or pick the I would say just more interesting visuals, or put it in the hands of a competent filmmaker or animator that respected the source material and would have done something with it. But other than that, the story was really engaging, and I enjoyed it. But it wasn't enough for me to love it or to like it as much. But yeah.
I actually really liked it. I give it an 8.
And I'll give it a 7.
Alright. And that will basically equal to basically a solid 7 between all of us. So
I mean, it's a good. If it's a standalone movie, it's really good. The visual didn't take me out of it at all. I like the story. Like, as far as the story goes, I loved it. The story was so good.
Yeah.
And you never get to see Jason Todd. Not really talk about Jason Todd. You know, so seeing this character that, I mean, come on, a whole audience voted his death. Like, a whole bunch of people voted for this. So to see this character, like,
to see it come
to see like where he what he came from to where he is now is really interesting. And I mean, he technically is in debt in that movie at the end. They just didn't find his body. He escaped. You know, he's obviously smarter than that.
Yeah.
So they prepare him. And he's part of the Bat family. So you can't really kill part of the Bat family. So it's against the rules.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he's in Death of the Family.
And Death of the Family.
I think he is in that comic.
Oh, in the comic, yes.
Yes, I think he's there.
Yes, he's in there. He's there.
If
All of
you
them
guys haven't read Death of the Family, please do. That comic's crazy.
Oh yeah, where the Joker cuts his face off.
All of their faces, right?
I don't want to ruin it, but no.
Wait, no. I was wrong. It is his face.
Well, that's how the Joker disappears.
Yeah. Anyway,
Like, yeah.
that's a whole other story.
All right, so is it my turn to pick a movie?
Well, actually, I mean, my review, dick.
Your review? You said a 7.
Yeah, but everybody else got to talk about why they liked it.
Okay. Well, why did you like it?
No, it's okay. Let's pick another movie.
Why did you like
Let's
it?
pick another movie now.
No, you said your favorite part and everything.
Okay.
Did he not?
He just wanted to do a brief summary.
It's totally
Okay.
fine.
No,
It's Romeo's turn to pick a movie.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we saw Equilibrium before it was your turn. Now it's my turn.
Okay. Pick a movie.
Okay, so my recommendation is actually gonna be one of my favorite westerns, and it is called No Country for Old Men.
Oh.
And that's gonna be my recommendation for next week.
The moment you said those first two words, I knew exactly where you were going.
Jeez, I don't act this way with you when you guys make a recommendation.
My recommendation
I don't
wasn't
roll
bad.
my eyes.
My recommendation wasn't bad.
I know, but you guys are already criticizing it before you even watch
I
it.
don't know anything about that movie.
I've
So it'll
seen
be
it
good.
once before, but I need to watch it
Did
again.
you make
to
me watch
remember.
that?
No,
Okay, good.
that one I did. No.
I'm not criticizing it. I just said I knew where you were going.
Is it,
Uh-huh.
is it
You
gonna be
said
like
No
every
Country,
movie?
and I was like,
It's gonna
oh.
be like every other movie you showed me ever.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean? Don't
Okay,
say it.
first of all,
Save it
okay.
for the next episode.
Yeah, we'll save it. But let's
If-
end
if
the
the next episode
I nitpicked this movie today.
Okay.
If the next episode I'm pissed off at the beginning, and yes, he did exactly what he did in every other movie. So.
I hope you all enjoyed us dissecting this movie.
Yes. Tune in next week. If you guys want to be part of the discussion for next week, watch No Country for Old Men.
Yeah.
Thanks for
So
joining.
you can be confused.
Yes.
Oh, God.